So I've been here painting for a while and I thought to check in. How is everyone doing? I know most of you guys, most of my viewers are from the USA, and today is quite a big day. It's an intense thing that's happening, right? And I can feel the energy in the air. It's quite intense with the upcoming election. I've been on YouTube and there's so many videos. It's like everyone would be talking about this. So it's a very big deal. And well, I wanted to remind you, just don't lose yourself in all of this. It's like an online war right now. I've been looking, on one side and another, and I don't care which side you support the most. I don't care. Be with life, be with life. But I've noticed that it's like a big fight, one versus another. And followers of one side are against the followers of another side. I've just seen one video where a woman has publicly spoken about that she supports Trump, and then many of her followers of Kamala came at her with all the dark comments, all the dark stuff, like incredibly dark comments. And I've been thinking, like, what's wrong with people? Like, what's happening? Because it's very, very weird how deep we can go, right? So I've been listening to Trump. I've been checking in some of the podcasts he's been on. And I've been listening Kamala as well. That's how I do. I check in both sides to see, who they are. And when you listen one person, you're like, that guy is saying incredible things. And then you're listening another person and you say, well, this woman is saying very interesting things as well. She's talking about love, she's talking about unity, and all of that. And people who are following this person supposed to demonstrate that, but apparently they're not. Maybe because there's not honesty behind these words, who knows, right? Well, if you're more in tune, you feel. I know, I feel. I know there's an incredible lack of honesty there, but I'm not going into it. Decide for yourself. You have a freedom of choice. I wanted to remind you today, don't lose yourself in all of this. You see, nature is not choosing good, bad, left, right, blue, red. It's all part of one mechanism. Nature doesn't choose. It's all part of the game. But this game is designed to deceive you, to distract you from most important things, which are your choices. You create your reality. You are the one that's in control of what's happening in your life. You see, when collectively we focus on one thing, we disturb the the system of reality that appears to be random. The thing is that when collectively we focus on one thing, we make this one thing as real as it can be. For most people, reality appears to be quite a random effect, but there have been studies that are studying the randomness of reality. Like, there are computer programs that are generating tossing a coin, and scientists have noticed that every time when a big event is happening in the world where there's a lot of attention on one thing, this coin is not random anymore. There appears to be more frequency on one side than another, which means that whatever looks random in our lives is actually not random. It's affected by our awareness. In quantum physics, there's a saying that the act of observer always creates something that is possible to see. John Lennon had this incredible saying. He said, "An individual dream is called a dream. A collective dream is called reality." So make sure that what they are projecting to you doesn't become your reality. Make sure that you are in control of your reality. Look, I'm here painting, and this painting is reminding me of power within me. I'm a warrior. I feel like a warrior, my friend. And so should you. Do things that make you feel strong. Do things that make you feel healthy. Do things that make you feel mentally strong, mentally healthy. It's all in your power. You see, design your life the way you will be happy for. Make it the way that, in the future you will say, "Hey, I'm so happy I've made these choices." Life doesn't wait no one, so you have a choice. I know what's happening, it's a very big deal. I've heard Oprah was on the side of Kamala, and she was saying that this may be the last election, right? So who knows? Who knows what happens? So don't be so confused by all of that. Don't lose yourself, my friends. I'm not much into it. I was not talking much about it, but when I see such a confusion on social media, I just can't not talk about it. And I said, I don't care which side you're choosing, it's your free choice. But if you're in tune with feeling, most probably you know what's right. Most probably you know what's right. You know what I feel? Look, 2 days ago, planet Mars went into a sign of Leo. And astrologically, it's a very important thing because it creates a 6-week cycle. And when this happens, well, it encourages on the world like a paradigm shift energy. And in my belief, it means that whatever is the most shocking during that time usually comes to the surface. The system requires a great shock. And I mean a shock that will wake people up. So what it means right now is not a time for smiles and beautiful words. It just doesn't work because people have noticed that beautiful words doesn't always come from pure hearts. You don't know what's in the background. But because we are going into the age of truth, into the time of truth, well, the roots of the past must be pulled out in order for the system to change. And that's what's happening. So, well, many of you know what's going on, right? So we don't need to go into it. But what I'm saying is that what is happening, it needs to happen. It's been predicted. It's been planned and it's going by the plan. But I'm also saying don't focus too much on it because you have a lot of power. So focus on yourself and notice what are you creating during this time. Are you creating a new world? Are you creating a life that empowers you, that makes you feel strong? Take care of your loved ones. Take care of your health, your life task. You have a life task. You've come here with a mission. Don't forget about that. I know many of you are waking up to this understanding. You're here on a mission. You're a missionary. Don't waste it. Don't waste your time. But also don't waste your peace for this stuff that anyway needs to happen. Don't waste it. Gather with people you love and yeah, talk about beautiful stuff. Talk about real stuff. Talk about what you're going through, or help them if they're going through something. I know so many people today are quite on the edge. Like if this person wins, they will be on the edge. If this person wins, they will be on the edge. But you know, wise men from the past said, in war there is no winners, only losers. So yeah, we need to be aware of these things, because you see, I've been looking at this both sides, and suddenly you get drawn into all of this. It's such a strong magnet, and in quantum physics, more in theoretical, metaphysical philosophies, there's a concept of a pendulum of energy, which means once you make an idea important, it becomes quite magnetic. So if you make a person important, that person becomes very magnetic. In your reality, that person becomes like a god. You place all your power to that person, and then you wait this person to decide something, and then you do what that person decided. And when this magnet becomes stronger, it starts attracting more people and more people from all kinds of places, and suddenly this pendulum becomes so strong that it starts moving other forces. It starts moving you, people around you, everything. And suddenly you're manipulated by it, not being aware that you've given power to it, so it is now manipulating you. So the whole idea here is that you recognize that you've given your power away to something external, and now you're influenced by it, not even knowing that it's happening. You suddenly experience desires of what that force wants from you. You experience fears of what that force wants from you. Don't you know that those above these people know that? And that's how they are using these powers. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is using that. The point is that you recognize that you can use these powers in your favor by focusing on what you want to see in your life. And not in a way like ignoring the dark stuff, like some positive thinking or whatever. But in a way that you design your life the way you want to live it. You create a vision for yourself and you follow it with a lot of work, a lot of action. You empower yourself. You remind yourself, hey, I'm not here to just follow what everyone else is doing. You see, Carl Jung said, if the path in front of you is clear, it means you're most probably on someone else's path. So don't do what's already clear. The point of this time is that the future is unclear. It's uncertain. And you're the one that needs to find certainty in your heart. And for that, you need to see something bigger than yourself, right? That's why I'm painting this Shaolin master right now. So I've been talking, in the video about the full moon, that I've seen this. I create all my paintings this way. Like I see a picture in my mind's eye and then I paint it. So during that video, I've been talking to you about, seeing this Shaolin master, and I said I will paint it. So I'm working on this for a while, but I want to tell you something very special about this painting. If you know my art, if you're watching my videos for a while, I'm doing this for a while, for 7 years. I'm not painting humans much. Like, this is maybe the second human I've painted. I was not drawing it, not sketching it, anything. I've just trusted the process, and look at it. I don't even know how it was possible. I've trusted the force that moves through me. There's a force, like, how many of you are here, like, Star Wars fans? The force, right? So you need to trust this force that moves you. And this is the Leo's thing, right? It's a heartfelt energy, it's a fiery energy. It's not mental, it's not intellect. Your mind can't see future right now. When you look at the world, you see politics and this great war between one and another, but your mind can't see what's truly happening. Your heart knows, right? So you kind of need to surrender your knowing to the unknown and allow the unknown to guide you. Allow the unknown to guide you. This is where we are right now. So yeah, great things are happening, but most probably before great things happens, great shock will happen. It will shock many people. And those who trust, those who know, they will not be afraid. They will not be afraid. So my friends, don't be afraid. You know what to do. You need to find your life task. You see, in Zen teachings, the real teachers, in all different, systems of teachings of wisdom, there were real teachers, and there were teachers who were just teaching some, let's say, easy ways to create almost like a religion kind of thing. And when the real teachers came, they were always suppressed, they were always ridiculed, they were always pushed away. I've been just reading one incredible story of one Zen teacher who actually is the one that brought Zen teachings back to life, because they would almost extinct if he would not follow this calling. And he was so ridiculed when he came to teach people the real knowledge. And before he came out, he noticed in many different these Zen teachings, these teachers were teaching people kind of the way to enlightenment is to meditate in quietness or chant certain words. And when he saw that, he said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? The world is much more complicated. And yeah, meditation is an incredible tool, and chanting, yeah, it's an incredible tool." But he was teaching the way that was very controversial for them. He said, a person can only experience enlightenment if he can persevere through suffering. So his teacher was teaching him to constantly keep exposing to unwanting, hard, life-challenging things, even though he would not have idea how to deal with it. Because he knew that only if he will expose himself to what's very uncertain, maybe painful and unpleasant, he will find a way to make through it. And that's called perseverance. And he was exposed to so much of hard stuff due to this teacher that he at some point quitted his teachings and he moved away from his teacher. But then around 10 or 15 years later, he finally woke up to this realization, what this teacher was actually teaching him. And suddenly he got this experience of enlightenment, because suddenly he recognized that he was free of everything because he had experienced everything. He had no fear anymore, no worry anymore, no sadness anymore, no anxiety anymore, because he has been through everything. So enlightenment is not just doing what's easy or right, or doing what you kind of feel that is right. Enlightenment means move through all kinds of experiences that are presented to you, but staying tuned with that inner knowing that guides you through it. Like here, when I've been painting this guy, if I would mess something, I would destroy everything, because in painting you always create firstly a background and then you start adding what's closer to you. So when everything was painted and I've started working on this guy here, I've been freestyling and it worked. But if it wouldn't, I would, destroy the whole painting. And that is called trust. It's nothing compared to what's happening in the world, but the point with this message is find the force in you that gives you a sense of reassurance and knowing that you are okay and that you already know what to do. And what's happening outside of you, well, whatever happens, there will always be people who will have a lot to say against it. Those will say, oh, it's good that it happens. They will say it's bad that it happens, and vice versa. So there will always be a certain type of a war. But make sure that this war doesn't come inside of you, because once it does, then you will become a part of it, right? So know yourself and be yourself and walk your path, my friend. I will leave you here. I hope you found some value in today's message. I will keep up with this painting, and I'm sending you all much love. Thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art in our store, AttractPassion.com, where you can check all of my paintings, everything I've created that happened through me. Check it out, AttractPassion.com. You will find all of my art in different sizes, prints of my art, original paintings, and so much more. And also thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art on Etsy store, AttractPassion, if you prefer this platform the most. And thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. I'm wishing you all the best, and stay connected. Don't let it blind you, my friends. Much love.